Hello and welcome to Rob's Corner. So I have two pregnant rabbits, but I only have one nest box, so obviously I need to make it in the nest box. So I got a 2 foot by 4 foot sheet of 23/32 inch plywood. The old pieces of wood there are a template that I made a while back, so I wouldn't have to make measurements every time I needed to make a nest box. So I'm laying out these templates on the new wood, and then I'm going to trace them out. Whenever you're tracing this out, whether you use templates or measure, uh, you need to be aware of the thickness of your saw blade. In this case, the marker I was using, the line, was about as thick as a saw blade. So here I've got all four sides made up or traced out. Now I am lining up the template for the back. So I'll need two of these, and also I need two front pieces to make a total of two nest boxes out of this piece of plywood. So I've got all the sides, all the front, all the backs marked out. And now, because I'm going to make a long straight cut and then another cut across, I need to make sure that all of the lines are lined up and straight. And for this, I'm just using a big carpenter square, the kind you use for whole sheets of plywood. And as it turns out, the lines were mostly straight. So that was a plus. And you say measure twice, cut once. In my case, measure 4 or 5 times and cut once, hopefully. So I've got all the lines marked out. I'm going to cut that line first, going across the sheet of plywood, and then I'll make the long cut on the table saw. As you can see there, I had to just eyeball it, but it worked pretty good. So here are all the sides cut out and all the fronts and backs cut out. And after that, I cut the angled parts off the sides. Here I've got the pieces all laid out in place where they're going to go when it's assembled. I got the box put together with these clamps. These are very handy to use. You don't absolutely have to use these, but it does help a lot, especially if you're working alone. It's a good idea. I put it together with screws, and it's a good idea to drill pilot holes so you don't split the wood. You should make your pilot holes just a little bit smaller than your screws. That way they catch. Not too much smaller, but a little bit. That way they'll hold it, the threads will cut into the wood and hold it in place. Hold it all together. I used total of 4 screws on each side at the back, 3 on each side at the front. I put 2 in at the back at first, just to hold it all together, so I could take the clamps off. And here are all the fronts and backs and sides put together. Now for the bottom. You can use a solid bottom on your rabbit nest box. The problem with that is that when the mama rabbit is in there, if she's got to pee or poop, she won't get out. She'll just do it right there. And if your box has a solid bottom, then it'll just collect in there and make a problem. So I use a 1/2 inch square hardware cloth. Hold it in with these hot dip galvanized staples. I'm using fence pliers to drive these. That's what those are made for. And because I don't want to keep hitting my fingers with a hammer, I hold the staple with some duckbill pliers. Needle nose pliers will work. As far as how big your hardware cloth is, it should go all the way to the outside edge of each side and the outside edge of the front and back of your box. That way, it'll hold in place pretty good. and here it is all put together with the hardware cloth. It's ready to go now. The sides of the box are 16 inches long from front to back. The side is 8 inches high near the back. As far as the angled part, your box should be 8 inches high from the back to about 6 inches, and then angle it down to 5 5/8 inches, which is the same size height as the front. The back piece of the box is 8 inches high and 10 inches wide. Total width of the box will be 11.5 inches. The front and the back are going to go to the inside of the sides. The front is 5 5/8 inches high and also 10 inches wide. So again, on the bottom, where your hardware cloth goes, the box will be 11.5 inches across and 16 inches long. And I'll put more information in the description below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.